Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode on the Backyard Gardening 822 channel. And today I will be doing something different. As you can see, this is not really gardening related. This is about a winter outlook, and this is my winter outlook, kind of like my preliminary outlook for 2016 and 17. How it will all play out. For those of you who don't know, I am also a huge meteorology fan, probably as much as I am a gardening fan. So now that it's becoming winter, the gardening season starting to wind down, I'll be having more meteorology videos coming in and gardening videos. And if you could tell, I kind of sound weird. I have a really bad cold, so excuse me for any sniffling or any thing to do with it. So this is gonna be my winter outlook. Now, for those of you who know, and I'm pretty sure almost all of you know that we were in an El Nino for the past 2 years, a very strong El Nino. It was almost, I think, a 3, and that is actually I think the strongest El Nino we had ever, and it was really strong, and that caused the temperatures in the east side of the United States to be warm and this side to be a little bit cooler. But now it's changing into a La Nina. And La Nina is, instead of these hot waters down here and up here, there will be cooler waters like this color blue. And that's what we're expecting this winter. But they said it would be stronger at the beginning of the year. Now they said the La Nina will be weaker. So it really is dependent on how fast will the El Nino weaken. As I said, this is the La Nina, and this is how a La Nina looks. This is from, I'm thinking, 2 years ago, when we had a really strong La Nina pattern. And as you see here, this water is cooler. And if you're, I don't know if this is this is kind of relevant because actually it's really relevant. And the La Nina or El Nino is technically determined by the PDO. The PDO is right here. I think it's a Pacific. I don't know what's its full name. And if there is water, if the water temperature here is hotter, like here, then the water here will be cooler, meaning it's a positive PDO. No, that's a negative PDO. And a negative PDO tends to have La Ninas more frequently than El Ninos. And a negative or positive PDO can last up to 30 years. So that's quite a long time, while El Ninos and La Ninas are like 18 months-ish. And if this is all blue, cooler, then here it's going to be warmer. And that's a positive PDO. In a positive PDO, there's more El Ninos than La Ninas in the whole pattern. So it's La Ninas more possible than an El Nino this winter. And I was talking about this earlier, right here. Yeah, so it's just kind of an image to show you guys. See? It's a better image. Yellow here, warmer here. It gets cooler here. And cycle that ties in with La Nina and El Nino. If it's like this, more El Ninos. Like this, more La Ninas. And it lasts up to 30 years, one PDO can last up to. And this is definitely not the outlook for this winter. This is how you see right here. These are some of the strongest La Ninas gathered. And this is how they all played out. As you see, it's kind of forms a pattern. Here it's warmer, and on the eastern side, it's a lot colder. Now for the temperature part of my outlook. So here you can tell there are several sections of the United States map divided into different regions, each with different temperatures. And I marked this off as below average temps because due to the fact of the cold Arctic air masses that are going to be blocked off by the weakening El Nino, and it's going to be drifting the Arctic air and it's going to glance to the northeast. So this is going to be below average at the beginning, especially at the beginning, because afterwards it will transition into a La Nina the whole year, and it will be more Arctic air spread out throughout the whole U.S. other than the West. Here I say it's going to be slightly above temps because if you think about it, here is the Gulf of Mexico, and the Gulf of Mexico usually provides tropical air and moisture, which tends to get farther up. The areas lying closer to the Gulf of Mexico get more warmth before the Arctic cold front. Perhaps just say it kind of blocks it off and pushes it farther south. Sometimes it gets so low, just completely blocks this off. And that's what I think will happen for a time period of 1 or 2 weeks, and that's why it's just going to get cooler later on in winter. Here, the average temps are going to be slightly below average, staying moderate throughout the season. And my reasoning for this is because this whole outlook is going to be about the fact if the La Nina forms. If the La Nina does not form, then it will be a completely different outlook. But this is based off the La Nina. The La Nina is a very really not decided thing this year because this year it's a weakening El Nino and depends how fast it weakens. If it weakens fast, then we'll have a La Nina over the winter. If it weakens slowly, then we might not. So I am saying that average temps, not too cold, not too hot, because it's going to be warmer at the beginning of season, colder at the end, so it's going to average out to stay the same. Here I say it's going to be above average temperatures with humid air making it worse. And therefore, if you know wherever you live in the United States, you know that humidity makes everything a lot worse. It makes it muggy. And if the La Nina pattern plays out, it's going to be warm, humid, but not too much rain. Here it's gonna be really hot, but much above average. Dry air with really strong winds. I didn't put it in here, but the Santa Ana winds are gonna be blowing hard, and therefore I think the chances of wildfires are gonna increase. And they always are there, the wildfires in the fall and winter, but this year they might be a little bit more. And on to the precipitation part of the video. Here I said much above average precip because, as I said, Arctic air is usually accompanied with a cold front, and cold front usually accompanied with a swath of rain or snow, which makes the precip amount for the whole season go up. And because of the cooler likely temperatures, I think there's going to be plenty of snow, especially at the beginning. Here there's going to be above average precip. Several Alberta clippers riding along the several Arctic air masses that are going to go down in some parts of the season. I don't know when. And more likely rain at the beginning and then snow at the end of the season, because rain, as I said, El Nino transitioning into a La Nina. El Nino means warmer for east, and sorry guys, and warmer for east and cooler for west. But this time it's gonna be a La Nina. So this is all based off a La Nina. I said that already like 5 times. Here I say it's gonna be slightly above average precip due to the fact that this part of the U.S. is open to the Gulf of Mexico, and I don't think the cold fronts are going to get as far south to block it off completely. So there's going to be more moisture, more tropical air, making more rain. And more moisture, which makes more rain. And if there is cold front gets down far south enough, it could snow in Tennessee, Arkansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, Mississippi, but that's pretty much about it. And down here, it's just gonna say mostly rain. Here, I a little bit over exaggerated. I made this forecast a couple days ago, but it says below average precip. I would say it's gonna be about average, just average. And in my next slide, I said there's gonna be plenty of rain because early on in the season there's gonna be a lot, but at the end there's gonna be not a lot, and that's gonna equal out to more rain than dry weather, because right now it's raining there. It's not definitely not a drought, and it's not going to be too warm, too cold there. So any precip that falls is going to be most likely rain here, slightly below average precip due to that it's going to be La Nina, not an El Nino. But at the beginning of the season, it's going to be an El Nino pattern, meaning that there will be more rain at the beginning, and any snow that falls will be in the higher elevations and mountains. The drought will probably worsen as the winter goes on because it'll be less precip. And now this is my overall view of how the winter will play out. This is kind of like my preliminary forecast, so it's definitely not official at all. I say this is going to be the same as the Northeast, except here there's going to be a chance of 2 or 3 Northeasters, and usually Northeasters impact the coast more in the land. Actually, all the time it does. So, made that into a separate category. Here I said cold air early on in the season due to the El Nino pattern, transition to La Nina, and becoming less snowy later on compared to the early on in the winter. Here I say there will be frequent cold shots because the El Nino will be that strong, so the cold shots won't stay as long south, so it won't stay as long and it won't be cold as long. So I say that there's gonna be Alberta Clippers riding along with the cold fronts. Here, same thing, just colder than here. Ground blizzard, which is basically not snowing but snow off the ground. Here, there's probably gonna be like this air, but it's gonna be throughout most of the season with plenty of mountain snow. So I'm thinking that the ski resorts this year might be lucky, especially on the eastern side. The western side, not as much. Here, mild temperatures along with plenty of moisture, so humidity, which will eventually lead into a rain. So above average with the rain. I said below average on the last one, but that was kind of a mistake. It's more above average because there's going to be early on lots of rain. Later on, it's going to be less rain, so that's going to still equal out to more rain as an overall average. Here, there's going to be dry, warm air throughout most of the season if that La Nina occurs, and if there's dry air, there's going to be strong winds, and with strong winds, Santa Ana winds, then that most likely will mean that there is a higher risk of fire. I already mentioned that. Yeah, I mentioned that already, I think. Did I? Yeah, I mentioned that. And this whole outlook is occurring because of if the La Nina plays out correctly. As always, guys, thanks for watching. See you guys in the next episode. It'll probably be another meteorology or a gardening. We don't know. Well, thanks for watching, guys. See ya. Bye.